Hey everybody, Andy Schreiber here for Pure Vitamin Club. Wanted to talk today about vitamin B12 and particularly about B12 for people who follow Ketogenic Lifestyle. My partner Vinny Tortorich and I were at KetoCon in Austin a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking to literally hundreds and hundreds of people about their diets and about their lifestyle and about the supplements that they take. And of all the supplements, the one that people asked us most about was B12 because they could not find a B12 that fit within their lifestyle. And we happen to have some of our B12 with us, our sublingual vitamin B12 tabs. So I wanted to talk about the difference and why so many people that we talked to who follow the ketogenic lifestyle were really intrigued by this. So let's start by talking about some of the basics. First of all, when you go and look at a vitamin B12 supplement, you're going to see one of two types of B12. There's either cyanocobalamin or methylcobalamin. Now the cyanocobalamin takes the cobalamin, which is the B12, and binds it to a cyanide molecule. Yes, that cyanide, the poison. Now, is that enough to actually poison you? Of course not. However, your liver is still going to say, this is poison, I don't like this, and it's going to have to get rid of it and break it down. In the process, that is taxing your liver, and it's also weakening the effect of the cobalamin, of the B12 itself. So you're not going to absorb as much. So that's number one. Number two is how is the B12 delivered? The most effective way is a sublingual under the tongue because B12 is not well absorbed in the gut. Your stomach acid has to be just at the right balance for you to absorb it at all. So the best way is in the mouth through the soft tissues. So what you want to look for, first of all, is methylcobalamin, which is the natural form of B12, and a sublingual tablet that goes in the mouth. Now, the problem for people on a ketogenic diets are with the ingredients that they use to hold it together. The amount of actual B12 in a B12 tablet is minuscule. It has to be put onto something. And it's that something that becomes the biggest problem. That, as well as how is it going to disintegrate? How is it going to dissolve? What's going to hold it together in the bottle? All of those things have to be taken into consideration, and in virtually every other product on the market, the ingredients that they use to achieve those things are terrible for people on a keto diet. Really terrible for anybody, but particularly on a ketogenic diet. The bulking agents, the material that the B12 is actually held onto. This is, I don't know if you can even see this because it's so tiny, but this is one of our B12 tablets. It is tiny, okay? But there still has to be something that is made out of. What do other people use? The most common is something called MicroCrystalline Cellulose. And what that is, it is basically very, very highly refined wood pulp. Sawdust, refined very, very, very fine. So fine, in fact, that they call it a micro nanoparticle. What that means is that the particles are so small that they can literally penetrate your cell walls. They can go in and out, and do go in and out of your cell walls. Some of them invariably get stuck in your cells and they cause inflammation. This is not a good thing. Other ingredients that people use as bulking agents, lactose, which is not going to be good for anybody who is lactose intolerant, and which is also a form of a sugar, so it's not particularly great for people on a ketogenic diet. They also use sometimes some sort of a grain powder, a brown rice flour or a wheat flour. None of this is good, and none of this is going to be helpful for a ketogenic diet. Then, once you have the bulking agent, all the other companies want to make it sweet. They want to make these taste good since you are dissolving them in your mouth. So what do they use? Some of them use actual sugars, but most of them use artificial sugars of some point. Sucralose, mannitol, erythritol, xylitol, any of those, either sugar alcohols or artificial sweeteners of another type. If you're following a strict ketogenic diet, you really want to stay away from all artificial sweeteners, including sucralose and including mannitol. Then on top of that, other manufacturers use some sort of a disintegrant to help the tablets disintegrate in your mouth. Usually it's something called crospividone, which is an inert polymer and is not terribly harmful for you, but again, it's just another ingredient that your body doesn't need. Another thing that is almost invariably added is some sort of a flow agent. These are used to help the product go through the tableting machines without clogging them up and without interrupting the flow in the machines. The most common of these are magnesium stearate or stearic acid. This is a very serious ingredient that can cause inflammation and can weaken your immune system. And then finally, they add artificial colors and artificial flavors, cherry flavor, orange flavor, peppermint, something. None of this is necessary, and none of this is going to help you actually absorb your vitamin B12. So at Pure Vitamin Club, when we decided that we wanted to make a B12 supplement, we thought, okay, what is our mandate? Our mandate is to put out vitamins and other supplements that have no additives of any kind. And it's a little bit more difficult with a tablet, a sublingual tablet, than with a capsule. So we had a challenge on our hands. How do we create this without using any of these harmful ingredients? So we did a lot of research and we worked with our chemists, and we came up with a really revolutionary and unique formula. Instead of MicroCrystalline Cellulose or lactose or rice bran flour or any of this junk, we needed a bulking agent, something that the actual pill could be made of. What we came up with was something that you would put in your body anyway: calcium, plain old calcium. But then how do we hold it together? Because we're not using any of those flow agents, any of those things, the binding agents, the disintegrants. How do we hold it together? We found out a way to do that too. We used an ingredient called calcium laurate. What is calcium laurate? It is calcium mixed with lauric acid, and lauric acid is the fat that you find in coconut oil. So it's a completely natural product, completely harmless for you. So what else did we add on top of that? We have our calcium, we have our calcium laurate, and our vitamin B12 in the methylcobalamin form. What else is in there? Nothing. There is no sweetener, no additives, no disintegrant, no colors, no artificial flavors, nothing. The color of our tablets is a kind of a pink, and the reason for that, and people ask that all the time, is cobalamin itself is red. When you mix it with the calcium, red and white, you get pink. So unlike every other B12 supplement on the market, we're using exactly 3 ingredients: the calcium laurate, and the B12, and that's it. Now, it will dissolve clean in your mouth, but it's not going to taste sweet, it's not going to taste sugary, it's not going to dissolve in a nice smooth way. You're going to feel a little bit of grit, but as we always say here, we're not going to sugarcoat this for you. These are vitamins, not candy. If you are following a ketogenic lifestyle, this will go perfectly with that. It will not interfere at all. If you're following any other kind of a lifestyle where you do not want all these bogus, harmful, unnecessary ingredients, you're not going to find that kind of a clean formula anywhere else. So what we want to do to make it easier to get on our B12 is we want to offer a coupon code for 20% off of our B12 on purevitaminclub.com. And that coupon code is KETO, K-E-T-O. If you go onto our website, purevitaminclub.com, enter the word KETO in the discount code box at checkout, you will get 20% off of your order. And that's it. If you have any questions, please write us at support@purevitaminclub.com. Stay keto and take your B12.